listening to Dr. Bryant interview and y'all thoughts on it. So we specifically asked Lydia to come back for this particular topic.
They really did, and I miss being here. So when
she's on vacation.
When Peanut, I wish, but shout out to Stacks.
He was on vacation.
Shout out to Stacks.
And then got 6 days left.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, when Peanut said, Lydia, bring your ass here, I actually, got on my good foot. So, first of all, if it wasn't for the show, I would not have taken the time to look at it. I did see a lot of clips. I did see a few people's interpretation of it, and I had my own, but I didn't want to give that much effort and energy to the interview because to me, everything is about money. Right? Everything is set up to where this is going to drive views, this is going to get people in an uproar, and I know for me, I wasn't going to have the same opinion as most people had about it, which I still don't have. So, like Wing said, I definitely had to do my homework. I did take a few notes on it, so we could just go from there in regards to how y'all want to approach.
Well, how did y'all feel about the interview?
To me, just kind of in depth, it looked like he was doing her a favor.
It looked as far as what?
Like it looked as if this is just my imagination behind it, but the way the interview was conducted, it looked as if they had a prior conversation, and he was like, "Okay, I'll have you on the show."
I didn't get that vibe. And she interviewed Nick Cannon interviewed her before Kane, but.
That's why I feel like
to me it don't look like maybe they had a prior conversation about her coming on, but I don't think they had a prior conversation about the things that they talked about just from the interaction of the interview.
See, I feel like they did. That's what to me it gave off a vibe like they had a conversation about what her preferences are, why she's single, and maybe a little bit about his situation. I feel like it was one of those things that they were like, bet, let's put this on air, because the way she conducted the interview, especially in the first hour of it, it was just mostly her, not rambling. I don't want to disrespect her profession, but it was basically her speaking, and he was doing, very good at allowing her and getting her to speak freely. Even when he would start talking, she was quick to interrupt him, and then she would, hold on, and he's trying to get out his thought, and she's, I don't know, that was my interpretation initially. It just looked to me as if it was a prior conversation that took place, and they decided to put it on air.
Well, I'm gonna be that guy. I feel like that's how women converse anyway. Excuse me. They don't allow you to get your thought out anyway. So a lot of the stuff she was doing, she was very long-winded. But I took that she had her own trauma, and the trauma she had from her childhood, she passed along. She's still carrying it as an adult, even though she's saying she's not. Because in one breath, she was talking about how, men can't, they break in homes or whatever.
Right.
But then she talked about how her father got 6 kids by different women. But your father's your hero. Your father allowed you to be the woman that you became because your mother was an addict.
There was some contradictory. Even the fact that she at one point said that her father didn't allow her to feel like something about being a father figure, she had that, but the man went to jail.
But he went to jail when she was, he went to jail when she was young. From her story, he went to jail when she was young. When he got out, her mother left. So her father, I'm assuming, because she never really gave the full details of who raised her.
No, she doesn't.
So we're going
But
to
she talks about her grandmother, though. She talks about.
She did say something about her grandmother, but
talked about her
then later on in the interview, she talked about how her father wasn't in the same house with her. So a lot of the stuff that she was saying to Cam, I feel like she was projecting from her own experience,
right?
Which I don't think was fair. And then also me being a man that has kids by multiple women, a lot of the things she was saying, I feel like she was just solely putting on the man, like the broken home thing. And then he messed her up when he said, "But all my kids live with me." So your whole argument was that because you're not in the house, you're breaking the home. But then he tells you that all his kids live with him, and he ain't with none of his kids' mothers, and you ain't say a word about none of these women.
Well, she did say something to kind of, but she did actually express that even with him having the children in his home, she did express the fact that he's still creating a broken home.
Yeah, that because
the women are not in the home.
He's created a broken home. If I got all my children,
right?
If all my children live with me,
are the mothers living with you?
No, and
then it's a broken home.
But I'm not creating a broken home. The women not here. The man didn't make the baby himself. But he didn't create the baby himself. Where's the responsibility on the woman?
So do you think that we talking about specifically Cam Newton or just men?
Cam Newton or in general?
In general.
Let's talk about that particular scenario.
Okay, so do you think that these women are purposely getting with Cam Newton and having his child to not be with Cam Newton?
I don't know.
Yes. So you think that these women are targeting him and he's falling for the okie doke?
All high value men are targeted.
But I think y'all see now you doing what she was doing.
What am I doing?
It's the words. Words have meaning.
They do.
So when
all high value men are targeted.
How can you say that she targeted him when you?
I'm just saying
when you don't know if he went and got her.
I'm not talking about.
That's what I'm asking.
I'm not talking about him per se. I'm just saying but all high value men are targeted.
But all high value men are not targeted. Because men pursue women. So if I pursue a woman, how did she target me? I ain't went and got her.
That's what I'm asking.
You're not getting what I'm saying.
He gets what? No. High value men are always going to be targeted.
It's all different. You got men.
You
got certain men.
You can be
high value men.
You can be targeted by someone, but in the case that we're talking about, if he went and pursued the woman, she didn't target him.
I'm not saying, but what I'm saying is, all I'm saying is high value men
are always going to be targeted.
They're already targeted
because they're high value.
Yeah, he pursued them, but he's being attacked by other women coming. He's like, I see her.
Yeah.
I'm going here.
Yeah, it's going to always be an entourage of women. Yeah.
Yeah, but
then I'm over here.
But that's going on for. That's not what.
No, that's real life.
No,
I mean that's what she's saying.
But
that's just because the lady. I mean the lady. Like
I'm talking about what Lydia just said.
No. I'm talking about the lady.
Listen, Lydia just said, "Are we talking about this?" I said we're going to talk about this specific.
Okay, all right.
So then you went and talked about something else.
But Floyd is making a valid point that basically Floyd is saying that he's going to be targeted regardless. He still has to make the conscientious decision on who he's going to end up being in a relationship or sleeping with. He still has to. The woman that targets him, right? Could possibly not be the women that he ever takes. He might be, and that's what he's saying.
But what I'm saying is, to go back to what you said, do we think women are targeting him? Cool, women can target him all day, but you can't put that on the fact of what we're talking about as far as the children's mother, because that's what we were talking about.
So here's the situation. If he knows that, because he said it, and I didn't want to get too far into that part just yet, but if he's not pursuing women to be in a permanent relationship with them, and he's having sex with these women, and the outcome is to possibly have a child, then that is him creating a broken home. He has no intentions on being in a serious relationship.
He never said that.
He did.
No, he said he did. He said he doesn't. He has more of a fear of divorce than marriage. He never said.
He did.
At that one time, did he ever say he didn't want to a relationship. He literally said that he's in a relationship right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the commitment. See, it's more to me. I'm going on actions. If it's 3 women, right, and he has how many kids? 8.
I believe
you on the slope right here, nigga.
But I believe it's first. I believe the first woman that he had kids with. I believe he was engaged to her.
Yeah. Yeah, he
was engaged to the first woman that he had kids.
Yeah, I think he was pursuing.
And that's what
I think she from here.
Yeah.
And you know what? I feel like that's one of the things in the interview that I had to kind of get around because, Dr. Bryant is highly educated, which we had to hear over and over again. She's a nice, attractive woman, which we had to hear over and over again. We get that she considers herself to be a high functioning individual.
She's rigid.
But I also
She's
looked at.
rigid.
I think there was a lot of, for me, confusion on the fact that she said she wanted to be married, but she left 2 men at the altar. So to me, I felt like, and this is just my opinion, but how was that? How were you at a high function?
That is low function.
She wasn't at a high function when she left the men at the altar.
Right.
She made sure to say that, but the part that confused me was the fact that she talked about she be in relationships and she never take her track shoes off.
That I did put that there. Track shoes will never come off, and they compared her to the song, and she was like, so here's the thing. She says she's all. So that's what I'm saying. You see that's why the conversation between Cam Newton and Dr. Bryant, we're never going to have like a real like opinion on it, because to me it was a lot of contradictory that I felt in what I saw with her, because when she said that at one point she was broken, and then this is just me, one of the things that grinds my gears, or is just a conundrum for me, is when people talk about healing. That to me is one of those catchphrases that to me sounds like you're trying to promote yourself as being this kind of like life coach, and I have this book and I have this and I get, so when you use the word healing and people need to heal, and I feel like that's a pitch, because as long as you live in the United States, you'll never be in a healed process. It's no way that you could be a healed person. No, I feel like you're constantly going to go through certain things in your life. Even when you wake up, you could be going through something from the day before, and you have to find advice, or you have to find something to get you through the day. You're never going to be in a position where you're completely healed. You can understand the circumstances that you've been through. You could try to get over those things, but it's always going to be something. If it's not a relationship,